Hello and welcome to the first beginner walkthrough solve of the Rex Cube. This is using a method called the cage method, which involves solving the edges first, followed by the centers, and then finally moving around the petal pieces with a single algorithm. You only need one algorithm, and it's quite a short one, so this method doesn't take a lot of memorization, but it's quite long-winded and takes a while. So let's start with the scramble. This uses the old ready notation, the ready cube notation, and we scramble it with white on top, green on the left, and red on the right. So here we go. R prime, F prime, little r, little l prime. R prime, little b, little l prime, little b. L, little l prime, L, little l prime, little b prime, L prime. Little f prime, F prime, little r prime, b. B prime, little b prime, L. Little f prime, F, R. Little f prime, little l prime, little f, little b prime, little l prime, and little r prime. If this is unfamiliar to you, don't worry about it. You'll get used to it with more practice. Okay, so we're going to look for solving the white pieces first. I see our blue and orange are here. Our green is here, and there's our red. So remembering our color scheme, here's a solved one. If we have, this is white that face, here is the red. So if we put the red in the same place, our blue needs to go on its left. So there's our blue. So our first move just matches those two up like so. It's very important that you get the color scheme correct when you solve the dino stage. This will avoid parity. So I'm not going to show you how to solve the parity issue, just solve the dino stage correctly. Next, we need our green here, so that's just one move. And then here's our orange. Now this isn't so easy to put in because we want to keep these pieces as they are. So I know it needs to go into this slot, and I know that the orange can turn on this corner. So I bring this slot onto that corner, and then I turn the orange down and it matches them up. Next we want to work on the middle layer. So I see the orange and blue is here and it needs to go here. So similarly, put it onto the relevant corner and then solve it into its appropriate slot. Then we move around, blue and red is next. There's the blue and red, one move. Then the red and green, which is here, which is also one move. And then we want to solve the orange and green as our last middle layer edge. Well, it's up here, so it requires two moves to get it into place. First of all, it needs to be on a corner that can solve to this location. So we do that like so, and then we insert it like this. If you're unfamiliar with solving the dino cube, there's lots of tutorials online. This step is exactly the same. Okay, so here we have one of our last layer cases. Got orange solved at the back, and then this one's oriented but in the wrong slot, and these two are misoriented. There's two possible versions of this case, and we've got this one. So the way you solve it, you take the edge of the opposite color to the solved one, so this case the red, and that one moves first. Match it up with its face, and then match up these stickers, undo the first move, and undo the second move. So here, match up the red stickers, and then we're matching up the green stickers. Then we undo that first move and undo the last move. So that's the dino stage solved. Next we need to solve the centers. You'll notice that the white and green are already, the white and yellow are already solved. So let's go ahead. Oh, so is the blue. So this is a nice easy one. We just have a 3 cycle of green, red and orange. So if I want to solve the orange into the back, first of all, I bring up a section with the orange pieces on, and then I match up the orange center like so. Then I undo the first move, which puts the orange solved. Then I undo the second move, and that solves these two. If you had parity, these two centers would be swapped, and the only way to fix that would be to solve the dino cube correctly. So to give you an idea, if you get the color scheme wrong, I have two dino cubes here. Here is a correct color scheme, and here is an incorrect color scheme. you'll notice that effectively these two colors have swapped. To fix this, simply do the following algorithm. R, L prime, R, L prime, R, X2, R, L prime, R, L prime, R. Finally, we've got one more stage to solving the Rex cube, and that is to commute all of these petal pieces. So we're going to start with white because that was the color we started with. So what this algorithm does that I'm going to show you, it takes these two pieces here and swaps them. And then it also takes these two pieces here and swaps them. And what we can do with that information is intentionally find a white piece, say, and put the solved spot for that white piece in this location. Here we have it. So now, when I apply the algorithm, these two pieces will swap. So we'll have a solved white piece and a solved yellow piece. And the algorithm goes as this. R, L prime, R prime, L. And then we're going to rotate about the corner, like so. This is a T rotation. L prime, R, L, R prime. And then undo the rotation, and these two have swapped. Undo the setup move. Now we'll solve this white piece into this location. Same process. Setup move, flipping alg. R, L prime, R prime, L. Rotate. L prime, R, L, R prime. And then undo the rotation. Sometimes you'll notice that there is no white petal now on an adjacent face. They're on the opposite face. So instead of just doing one setup move before the flipping algorithm, we can do two. Remember what the moves were and what order you did them in. I tend to avoid these after the first face. So usually I just do one setup move, but here you can do two. Like so. And then flip these two. And then undo the setup moves in the right order. And let's solve that piece. And then finally one more piece. Now this one's not so easy. We can't actually... Sorry, no we can. We can find a setup move for that. Like so. Now remember, it only affects these four pieces here. It doesn't affect that piece, these pieces here. So, flipping algorithm. And then undo the setup moves, like so. Now that we've done one face, we need to solve an adjacent face, not the opposite face. So we don't look at the yellow pieces anymore. So the red's looking pretty good. There's two of them done. We'll solve that one next. So we've got this case here, where these two pieces need to swap. But this requires two flipping algorithms. So I flip these pieces, and then it will be in a good place to swap with this one. Now it's in a good place to swap with this piece. Now you may notice this takes quite a long time to do, and the more you practice, the faster you can execute the flipping algorithm and the less time it takes. Here's a red piece, and we can flip it onto this face here. We could do a flip to match them up, you know, something fancy like this, but you'll notice that that breaks up our white face, and I know I can preserve it, but instead of confusing, because I would find that confusing, instead of getting mixed up, simply we'll just put this red piece here. And then we can swap these two. Once that's done, we've solved two faces that are adjacent to each other. Now we need to solve a third and final face that is co-adjacent to these faces. What that means is it has to share an edge with both colors. So either blue or green. And well, neither of them is particularly easy, but we'll just do blue. So here we have this one going to here, like so. And then these two can go into these slots. So this one can swap here. And then this one can swap with this one. And then finally, we have this final blue piece on the opposite face. And I will show you this case here. If I were to swap these two pieces, and only these two pieces swapped, then I would have a blue and a green next to each other, and I'd have to do a flip to set them into a good case. I'd ideally want this green here. Now I know that the flipping algorithm swaps these two pieces, and it swaps these two pieces. So I can simply apply the flip here, and I'll be set up for a good case. Like so. Then I swap these. Now that has solved 3 co-adjacent faces. And now we don't have any petal pieces on a face of the opposite colour. And what this means is that we no longer have an issue with locating pieces or having to do extra setup moves or extra flipping algorithms. They're all here. So it's a little bit easier to handle there. So what we can do is maybe solve the yellow face, because one of them's already done. So we just need to solve these 3. And this one are nice and easy. They're a single flip. Like so. And then these 2 are easy. Notice, by the way, this pair, I'd like to swap them because this green belongs here. I could also swap them here, but the green doesn't belong on the orange face, so I might as well swap it to here. Now we run into this interesting case. Ideally, this orange wants to swap with this green, and this yellow wants to swap with this orange. But I can't actually set that up. This is no good. However, if I flip this line on its own, so swap these 2 pieces, then the result is that with one move, I can swap this piece and this piece, followed by this piece and this piece. So one setup move, and using the flipping algorithm, we've solved a load of pieces. Now we just have 2 more faces to solve, since the yellow has been finished now. So swap these 2. And then finally, swap these 2. And there you have the first RexCube walkthrough. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you.